Come, mortals. Enter my realm, if you dare.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining me here with the next part of the Sage questline. So already it seems that there's a lot more behind the scenes than we first realized, and maybe our fugitives are not quite as villainous as we've been made to believe. But I'm sure we'll find out with a poison gift. Forgive me for my earlier bewilderment. If you do not mind, I would review the situation as it stands. We've been laboring under the assumptions that Loifa and his companions have come to Eorzea to further enhance themselves in their pursuit of forbidden power. To that end did they seek to procure muscamoli, which they would use in the conjuncture with the stolen soul crystal. It wasn't the muscamoli that they wanted. No, what they wanted was the man who wanted it, Master Faldrinet. Using the herb as a lead, they went to the Arboretum in anticipation of their quarry's arrival, and failing to find him there, they made their way to Lost Hope. Such is my theory at any rate. What do you make of all this? They may not be criminals, they may be victims. So you think so too? There's something else, Claire. The rumors I mentioned of a Charlene healer who conducted heinous procedures on live subjects. After sharing recent developments with Command, they reopened the investigation and have, to our considerable shock and surprise, confirmed that there appears to be some truth to them after all. The villain went to great lengths to conceal his operation, and thus did he manage to elude the authorities for years. The man's identity is yet to be conclusively ascertained, but we have a suspect, a sage who disappeared from Charlene shortly before our fugitives first appeared, a sage by the name of Guildivain. Yes, the same Guildivain who took Mahad and Ansel into his care, I suspect. If they were victims of his experiments, then they would have every reason to follow him to the ends of the world. While much of this is conjecture, it goes far towards explaining that which we know. So let us proceed on this assumption and have the truth from the man at the heart of recent events, Fladrinet. Now, according to the apothecary, 'twas a merchant in Aleport who introduced them. If we find this merchant, we may also find Fladrinet. To Guildivain! I gotta say, this storyline's really good. Just as good as the Reaper quest line, so they really went all out on these quests. I'm not saying like the others in the past, like the Gunbreaker and the Dancer, weren't good. I mean, those were definitely good. But it feels like they kind of stepped it up a notch. So the Reaper and the Sage quest lines are kind of on par with the Dark Knight quest lines, which are really, really good. Okay, and where is she? There she is. So this is Aleport, one of Hildebrand's foremost trading hubs. Ah, how I would like to take in the sights, but that must wait. We have work to do. We must try to find this merchant before Fladrinet does. As I recall, the man deals in Thavnar wares. Let us begin by... Healer! Send for a healer! I'll speak of the devil. You're a healer? Good, we got us some badly hurt folk just outside, attacked by the looks of it. Can you go and tend to them? Might be as whoever did this is still near, so watch yourselves. I'm gonna raise the alarm. How much do you want to bet it's our group? Okay, let's see. Well, there's definitely one of them. in the world happened? Ugh. We're too late to help the merchant. But Loifa, you can still save him. Yet our earlier speculation was simply that, speculation. We do not know for certain what he and his companions seek to accomplish. What we do know, however, is that they took a life in Charlian. They are murderers. I know it's not my place to pass judgment, but they took her from me, my mother. Oh. Ha, he was right. I am a fool. I thought I was strong enough to keep my feelings out of it. That's true. If protected me, I owe him for that. Yes, I remember, and I understand that the man who took my mother's life was not in his right mind. Give me my decision, Claire. Please render Loifa your aid. Save his life. You must. Huh? Okay, fine. It's a regular diagnosis, then. Are you alright? Mahad and Ansel. Where are they? They were not here when we arrived. Only the merchants. It was too late for him, but Claire was able to save you. Will you tell us what happened? Who was it that attacked you? Guildivain, who else? That bastard is still out there because of you, and now... So it is as we suspected. Faldrinet is Guildivain. Finally ready to accept it, are you? He can change his face and his name, but there's no changing the monster he is. Still masquerading as a kind-hearted healer, a wolf in sheep's clothing who preys upon the vulnerable for his vile experiments. So you were indeed his test subjects. I am sorry. Had I known, I... Save your apology. It won't bring Mahad and Ansel back. When we confronted Guildivain, they shielded me from his magic. He must have taken them. I couldn't do anything. For all the power and the sacrifice, I couldn't do a damn thing. What are you talking about? I was born with a disease of the lungs. As I grew, so too did it worsen, until I had but a few moons left to live. It was then that Guildivain appeared before us, before me and my master. With the wisdom of Charlian, he could cure me, he said. Having believed for so long I had never had a chance, I wasn't sure how to feel, but my master was overjoyed. And seeing that joy, for the first time, I wanted to live. For him. For me. But we were fooled. In the guise of treatments, Guildivain subjected me to a dangerous procedure to fortify my ether. I wasn't the only one. There were others, so many others, but one after another they disappeared, until only a few of us remained. God. We who survive have been more than cured. We've been given unnatural powers. Was twice as strong as any man, and could channel magics with ease. All the good it did. I was no match for Guildivain and his tricks. Worse still, I couldn't protect Mahad and Cell. If this life is my reward for all the suffering and sacrifice, I'd been better off dead. Aww. Mahad and Encel still need you. You can't give up now. Yeah, they may be gone, but they're not dead yet. Help me, please. I want to save them, but I can't do it alone. I need help, so please. I should have listened. Should have been willing to question what I was told, and now, because I wasn't... Well, we didn't know. That's the thing. Guildivain went to the trouble of taking Mahad and Cell. It can only mean one thing. He means to experiment on them again. We can't let that happen. We have to find and save them. Wait, even if we manage to ascertain Guildivain's whereabouts, the fact remains that the three of you together couldn't overpower him. We cannot expect to fare much better. In all likelihood, he himself is also enhanced. If we are to confront him, we must have a foolproof plan. Do you not agree, Claire? Very well. For now, I ask that you return to Idyllshire. I will join you there after briefing the Yellow Jackets on the situation. Alright, going back to Idyllshire. Unexpected turn of events, but hey, I like it. That was a disturbing scene. It really was. Like, I don't even want to think of how many people he must have killed to get this far. And change his face? What happened? I mean, did he just experiment on himself to change himself into a Elizan or something? I mean, he looked the same, like in that flashback. That's the thing. So maybe he only changed it a little bit so that people may not recognize him on the spot. I mean, it explains why she didn't recognize him when they first met, because she would have known, like, all these sages. Maybe he used Fantasia or something. I don't know. Please be safe. Tidings from Command, Claire. They have confirmed that Guildivain used Muscaloy in his procedure. Despite his attempts to destroy all evidence of his crimes, traces of the herb were found in his laboratory. Furthermore, no record exists of a healer named Fladrinet. If ever there was any doubt it was a false identity, there is none now. In hindsight, we should have tried to explain everything to you, but we didn't know who to trust. Even if you had attempted to convince me, I doubt I would have listened. I saw what I wanted to see, believed what I wanted to believe. Even with the mounting evidence, I wavered over whether we should save you. My mother would have been ashamed to see what I'd become. I took up the shield because I wanted to protect all life, just as she did to her dying breath. Your mother was a warrior like you? She was a healer. The soul crystal you took, it was hers. Then the woman that day was your mother. Guildivain had already fled Charlian. We were attempting to escape when one of our comrades collapsed in pain. Someone chanced to see us, another sage at FFXIV Technon. Suspicious though we must have looked, she rushed to our aid without hesitation. But our companion, he flew into a frenzy and we couldn't stop him. I tried to save her, the gods know I did, but with the last ounce of her strength, she pressed the crystal into my hand. Forgive me. There's not to forgive. She did what she always done. What she believed was right. If she had any regrets, it was doubtless be that she couldn't help you sooner. As for the crystal, she clearly wished for you to have it. She must have seen something in you in that moment. 'Tis my hope that you will carry on her legacy and fight for the future of all lives. Future of all lives. I shall dedicate my efforts to locating Guildivain. Until I do, please continue practicing your skills, the better to be prepared for when we face him. Alright. So we're definitely getting there. Muscaloi has arrived. As expected, is highly effective in straightening one's ether, but so too does it poison. We must find a way to separate its beneficial contents, else it cannot be administered for any extended period. We administered a diluted extract of Muscaloi after the patient fell unconscious. Though she awakened a few hours later, she was extremely agitated, and it took several people to subdue her. We can no longer dismiss the inherent risk in the treatment. We must submit a report to the studium of the dangerous Muscaloi, ere someone else repeats our mistake. Ah. The pain has returned, worse than before. This disease eats away at me, and I fear I do not have much time left. Yet there's still so much to do. So very much. Wow. That was definitely a lot to take in, but it's getting good now. Fighting for the future of all lives. Is this what drives you too? I guess you could say that. Pledge of Hope. So that's going to be the next quest. That's going to be the second to last quest. Looking forward to that. So until next time, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you're looking forward to what comes next. Bye!